All right, so last time you were here, we worked on adding coils to our project. And we stored it in a bag. Today we're not going to actually store our work in the bag because it should be done after this class. So you take your work out. If you had extra clay, it was wrapped in here. If you do not have extra clay, you will get some more clay from extra clay I will keep cut in this bin. There's some paper towels that were wet. They're dried up. Keep that closed. All right. Does anybody remember what size piece of clay we want to start with? Maggie? A golf ball. That's right. So it doesn't have to be exactly. Squeeze it into kind of your sausage shape. We make coils. Coils are made by rolling it out. We don't want clay to be thicker than our thumb. That's right. Good job. And you can use your fingers. See, I like to use my fingers and spread them. You can also use the palm of your hand. If you end up with parts that get too thin, it may break into a smaller piece. No big deal. Because I'm actually probably going to break this into smaller pieces. Now, when we do the spirals and the zigzags, it's actually better if our coils are a little bit thinner than we have them for our construction. I like to think about a regular pencil, about that thickness. Okay, this is getting too long, so I'm just going to break it in half so I can work with it a little bit better. So I want to have a nice coil. All right. And I'm going to start with a piece that's about this big. So I just broke it again. And our liquid clay here is called slip. Now, normally when we join clay, we score and slip, but for making our zigzags and spirals, it works good just to use a little bit of slip. Put it on one edge if you're making a spiral. And then you are going to begin to roll it up. Now, too much slip is going to make it a little bit gooey. You can see how that even made it gooey. We want one side to stay looking like a coil, like our snake-like rope we made. Then we want to use our clay tool. Remember, try not to use a pointy edge. And I do this usually when it's in my hand, and I smooth one side before I put it on. Okay, I'm going to set that aside just for a little bit. And then make another one. Now, I'm going to, actually instead on this time, I'm going to make a zigzag. So I'm going to put a little bit of slip. I'm going to fold a little bit more slip. You can see right here how that clay is cracking a little bit. Can you see that? That's what happens when the clay gets a little bit too dry. It's not a big deal, but if that happens, that's why. So this clay sat for a long weekend in that bin. All right, so there we go. Same thing on both sides. I'm going to smooth one of these sides. All right. Now I have a spiral and a zigzag. Since I have my coil here that I made, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try to make one more of each so then I can show you how to attach them. And let's see, that needs a little bit more slip. I want that. That's about the right size. I usually try to flip it over. You'll notice how I flip it. This side I think looks a little bit better, so I'm going to smooth this side. All right. That helps so they don't come undone. And this one here is a little bit thick. And I'll make this into a zigzag. It might be a short zigzag, but that'll be okay. And whoops. I checked. All right. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces here that I can attach. Now, last time we were here, we built up the edges of our pot, and we use the tool here to smooth on the inside. And then I recommended using your finger to make it even smoother. All right, now I'm ready to attach these. So because I'm going to be attaching the clay, I want to score. Remember when we score the clay, it's like we scratch it up. So I'm using a fork, I'm roughing it up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to use the slip. That's okay. And now I'm going to attach these. So I'm going to put this right here. And put a little bit of slip on the side and another one right here. Put a little slip on the side. And this one's going to have to make a corner. And I do have a little bit more room, so I can...
Excuse the interruption. Mrs. Sandstrom, please call extension 103. Mrs. Sandstrom, please call extension 103. Thank you.
Now that this is attached, all right, it's half done. I'm going to need to obviously keep going, make some more on them. But what I want to do is I want to blend these so they stay together. Now remember how we talked about it's very important that you hold on to the edge. Works good if you hold it to the side. I'm holding it in my hand so you can see. But like where the circle is, you can see how the circle right here, it's curved, so there's a little bit of a hole. And this part's more of a rectangle. So I can take just a little bit of my extra clay, I just pinched a little bit off, and I'm just going to get a little bit of slip. And I'm going to put that right there. So it'll fill that hole in. And then I can work about smoothing. Now another thing that you can do is you can get a little bit of clay and make a really thin coil. This will work really good too in that part to help attach it. So I'm going to put a little bit of slip, not too much. Whoop! Almost lost it there. I can put this here. That will help join the clay. You don't have to, but if you think that it's a little bit weak and they're not staying on good, this will help attach it and hold them on better. And then I can smooth it out with my finger. So, all right. Okay, you're today, and you'd be able to, if you want to add more, you can add more layers on top. You don't have to do these if you don't want to. I think it gives it a really neat look, though. It's up to you. When we get done with these today, we're going to put them on the blue trays, and we are going to let them dry slowly. So, okay, Camden.